What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that's how I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all seen the title. Before we get in this video, I want to show y'all this. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie. This is on Jeff Metcalf's Facebook. Y'all can check him out on Facebook as well. I'm pretty sure he has an X account. But I try to stay on top of this. One thing about it is that, and I'm gonna talk about it more so in the video. But one thing about it is this is something that definitely I don't want it to be something that is forgotten, that is unnoticed. It already wasn't on mainstream media, and I feel like this is something that's definitely big. And it's up to us, myself, other creators, to make sure more and more of this definitely gets out. It says here from Jeff Metcalf, cooking out some burgers with Hunter and the boys have to paint the fire pit Hunter welded. Both numbers 11 and 12 are part of the pit to honor Austin and Hunter. So proud of the job he did on this. So glad he has such great friends to support him through this difficult time. A few pictures, you got them, eating some burgers and stuff. It's had me sign in to Facebook, so I really can't show y'all too many pictures. And I would sign in, but I thought I was already signed in. But I thought that was pretty cool to check out. I'm not even gonna lie. I definitely thought it was pretty cool to check out before we got in this video. It's definitely something, I can't imagine, that's a twin. I'm not, sure how many of y'all got a twin, but I do have a friend. If y'all know who Twins the New Trend is, they out here in Indiana. They're twins out here, and they do YouTube, and I think that's the only twins I know. It might be some twins in my family, I don't know, but just that, and just seeing how sad it is, it definitely is a sad thing. Just trying to stay, just trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up, and definitely, sending my love, condolences, and stuff from a distance. You know what I mean? One thing about it is that I don't really like, bothering people. I don't like bothering people, sending messages and a whole bunch of comments, but definitely much love to y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to try my best to stay on top of what's going on with this. I definitely feel as if they don't really get as much recognition. They're already not getting the justice. I want them to get justice. I'm not even going to lie, but it just doesn't seem like they are getting enough that they should. When people talk about how, Karmelo and his family, the cars and the clothes and the shoes and over almost $600,000 and just other things that's going seem like it's going great for Karmelo Anthony's family, but like I said, God sees all. This is the post that I was talking about. It literally says there will be no protest, there will be no natural outrage. In a few days, this 17-year-old boy Austin Metcalf will be forgotten. And it says why? Because he is white and the unalive is black. Let me tell y'all something. At the end, it says white lives matter. Let me tell y'all something about this post. How I feel about this post, I'm not even going to lie, is that first off, all lives matter. This is something that was obviously a right or wrong thing. I would say that when he's saying, and he put this post out and saying that this 17-year-old boy Austin Metcalf would be forgotten, I don't look at it that way. I feel like this is something as long as I'm putting these videos out and putting this in the people minds, I don't feel like this is I don't feel like this is something, and that's why I try to strive to to make sure I'm on top of putting this case out there, because I feel like this is something that's definitely important. It's something that definitely needs Austin Metcalf and his family needs justice of. So when I read this post and it said in a few days this 17-year-old boy Austin Metcalf will be forgotten, I can see the frustration. I can see the pain out of a lot of people, but at the same time, just pray, be positive about it. There are creators like myself that are going to try, our best, to stay on top of it. I know I am, to stay on top of this and do all I can, to put out this information and let people know, what's going on, my opinion on it, and, facts that come out, daily. I seen this video here. I want y'all to check it out.
So I'm hearing that Carmelo Anthony is now being charged with first degree. If that is true, I guess the prosecution knows something that we all knew all along. And it appears that finally, the Metcalf family just might be able to get some justice for the senseless death of their son. I mean, at the end of the day, one kid gets to enjoy a brand new house, brand new cars, shopping spree, walk down the aisle and graduate, while the other won't be able to be with his family and friends or walk down the aisle. So I'm curious to see how this is all going to play out. And if Mr. Anthony is convicted, I'm sure that somewhere down the line, some liberal president will then pardon him. But in the meantime, I sure hope that the Metcalf family gets the justice that they deserve. Though it won't bring their son back, but it'll bring some kind of satisfaction knowing that their son was put in prison. And no, this is not about race. This is about right versus wrong.
Yeah.
Race has nothing to do with it. 2 children's lives were taken that day. One by bad choices, the other by a knife.
That dang near gave me the chills. I ain't gonna lie. That was deep though. That was definitely deep. Over something that was, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody say. That's something that isn't, and it's crazy because I keep on seeing posts, and I'm gonna show y'all a video of hopefully y'all can stay through it. But when I tell y'all that I find it absolutely crazy that people think that was just something that was just okay to do, it's completely insane to me. Because if they feel that way, then what is that to say? You know, there's other, you know, teens that's in school. There's other it's not doing nothing but enabling. You know, I know there's a lot of parents, you know, that's out there. Obviously, they got kids in school and stuff like that. And like I say, it starts with the parents that's, you know, teaching their kids and showing their kids, you know, right from wrong and stuff like that. But there's also parents that's not in their kids' life. And if they are, they're putting and feeding them, you know, bad things and the way that they're thinking and the mindset that they have. And I feel like that's not going to do anything but cause destruction. And like I said, it's up to myself and other people to spread this information out and let it be known, because it definitely is important. I try to strive, you know, I look at my analytics and see, you know, the teens of who watching my video. Believe it or not, I was a music reactor before these videos, and I had a lot. When I say a lot of young teens, young adults that was on my channel, between country, rap, pop, rock. I'm talking about every type of genre, sports, comedy. I react to it all. I have over almost 4,000 videos. And one thing about it is that I seen a decline because of the change of my content. And I definitely, you know, obviously noticed, but also, you know, I wasn't surprised by it. But it's up to me, you know, to keep striving. You know, then that's why a lot of times, you know, I post, if y'all, you know, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, is I am the real reckless on both. And, you know, I put my car and stuff out there, and I see, you know, the engagement that I have with that. And then it brings them to watch these videos. And, you know, when I see them out, you know, out in public, you know, and when I'm going around that they, you know, I seen that, you know, that old video that, you know, that you got it with Karmelo, and, you know, and it's important. You know, so I try to find different ways, you know, to bring more and more, you know, of the youth and, you know, the young adults in to actually realize, because some might find it, you know, if not a lot, find it, you know, boring. But at the same time, I definitely feel like it's important. A lot of kids don't have, you know, that guardian, those parents. And, you know, it's very tough, you know, to understand, you know, when you don't really have nobody. So that's what I kind of strive to do when I do these videos, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like it's just, it's amazing. So when people in my comments like, you talk too much, bro, I'm telling y'all, I try to think of ways and I try to do the best I can to make sure, you know, these young adults, these young teens are realizing what's going on around the world, you know, because just like this of going to school, obviously, you know, he been suspended, and in trouble, literally then got in trouble with knives and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, you know, he took this to a meet he wasn't even supposed to be at, and not only took a life, but took his too, from a symbol. And it starts with the parents. If you know your child, they got in trouble multiple times from fighting, had it weapon in a book bag, and got in trouble for that weapon, the knives, a few times, why ain't you checking book bags? Why ain't you talking to your son? Why are you not getting him that, that help, that he needs? Because now, not only did it affect his life, it affect the parents' life, the younger siblings, the schools, the friends, the Austin Metcalf's family. It affects a lot of people. Not only do it affect them, but it affects us. That's why we sit here talking about it. You have people arguing about it. People got to think. You know what I mean? It's important for people to think and realize what's going on. I feel like a lot of people don't. So that's why, again, I try my best to get it down pat. Here we go. Got Karmelo Anthony admitted to unaliving Austin Metcalf. So since then, says DI judge reduces bail. Alive releases Karmelo. Karmelo buys a new house and new car. Over $447K is donated to him, and it's well over $550. I'm pretty sure by now. And merch sold in his name, which I feel is completely insane. And this is why I say I find it crazy, because it's like, bro, like, they're doing all of this stuff, and you're not really seeing much about, Austin, but trust and believe, I do feel that justice, it'll come. It'll definitely come. I see it now. This whole story, this whole case, it screams guilty with all the witnesses that they have between staff, the coaches, the students, over 32. So definitely plenty. And then you have here, it was a post by, another, this Dr. Umar Johnson says, now when white kids bully black kids, they're going to have to think twice, aren't they? Karmelo Anthony should be celebrated. You dang right. If you're a black man in America, you better have some kind of weapon on you, which I don't completely agree. I'm not even going to lie. I feel like, and I'm going to tell y'all why. These are the adults influencing young black America, and it's disgusting. Leave my tent is now bullying. Removing someone from where they don't belong means you deserve to be, unalive. Life over, which, again, I find completely crazy. That adults, like it said, adults are influencing, like we just got done talking about, this young America. Not even just young black Americans, just teens that think like this. Because believe it or not, there are, of other races that are supporting Karmelo. Mostly black, but I feel like it definitely is important, for people like myself to speak up about it. Now, what I said about this, about if you're a black man in America, you better have some kind of weapon on you. Let me tell you something. Indiana, you can't carry. You can. I feel like as an American, whatever you can carry, do it. I don't have a problem. I have a permit license. Carry and stuff like that. I definitely feel like support. I mean, yeah. So but what I don't agree with is that this whole thing, this whole sense. So before everybody, why don't you agree? What I don't agree is that I do feel as if you leave your house, cautious. You want to make sure, everything's good, all that. But then when you put out stuff like this, it's not doing nothing but scaring people and having that mindset as I'm black and I'm not safe out here. Don't think like that. Do what you do. I trust me, I go through mental health, issues, and I try to work on a lot of those things, reading books and like trying to have that focus, and been through therapy, and don't live your life like that. Don't live your life like that, regardless of whatever color you are. Don't live your life like that. This is something that I find completely disgusting. I'm not even gonna lie, especially when adults are pushing this mess onto younger teens. I want to show y'all this video to hear what this moron had to say.
Karmelo Anthony is a free young man. He is free. They just released him on bail. Yeah. So for everybody who was saying, oh yeah, he shouldn't be, what y'all gotta say now? Okay. He defended himself. That's why the judge lowered his bond to $450K.
Her name is on Instagram, True Crime with Bella. Best believe I will be sending her a message when it all comes down, said and done, and Karmelo is guilty. I definitely will, and I'm gonna just put in all caps guilty. I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna just put in all caps guilty, because first of all, he's not a free man. He's not a free man. He's literally on house arrest right now out on bail. So I don't think she gets that. I think that she really thinks that he's a free man. Wow.
Yeah, he's out of there. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. We keep fighting, for justice. Yes, in the situation.
For justice. For justice. And Austin lost his life. That's crazy.
And all around, it's a sad situation, I don't think he was trying to unalive Austin, but it got to a point where he felt the need to. Who am I to tell him he didn't? Who are you to tell him he didn't? But I'm happy that justice is, truly being served, and Karmelo is free. Now we'll just have to wait till the trial and see what happens. But I'm sending him a lot of good luck and prayers and well wishes. And yeah.
They let anybody on the internet. They let anybody on the internet because, first of all, he's a free man. He's not a free man. He was free. He wouldn't be sitting in a location. Location nobody knows. First off. Secondly, said that he don't think that he was trying to. So you mean to tell me that this dude, and this is what I find crazy, like when you really deeply think about it, he skipped school, bro. Now you hear all these, these stories. Oh, he wants to go support his friend. It was raining, so he went in there. I feel like it's more to it, bro. I feel like it's more to it just for the simple fact. He skipped school, had a knife. Mind you, he didn't got in trouble plenty of times. Had a knife in his book bag. Walked on the school property with it. A different school property. He skipped school. He skipped his school to go to another school. Sat in a different tent and did that. That's all I feel like but then you had this more I'm talking about. I don't think he was trying to. This is what I be talking about. It's people like this. Ridiculous. I'm telling y'all. And got this Rap Generals at Rap Generals TV. Karmelo Anthony, 17, being charged as an adult under Texas state law in first degree, of Austin Metcalf. I have to watch what I say, and I cannot say it. So for the people in the comments that saying, "Oh, why are you saying unaliving?" It's because you cannot say certain things on here on YouTube. Says faces mandatory life in prison, possible parole after 40 years. Me personally, I feel for a lot of people, and I feel like it's definitely I don't feel like it's right to do. After having that possible parole after 40 years, took a life. That's something that I face the consequences. I mean, that's just me. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. I don't like that possible parole after 40 years. Gotta do that life. I mean, that's a consequence. I mean, that's something that's a choice that you made. Now you gotta face the consequences. That's just how I feel about it. Then I to end this video out, I wanted to show y'all this from Terrence K. Williams. Great guy. I'm not even gonna lie. Said blacks are not criminals. Whites are not criminals. Asians are not criminals. Hispanics are not criminals. Stupid people are criminals. Being a criminal has nothing to do with race. A criminal is just a criminal. My name is Terrence K. Williams, and I approve this message. Let me tell y'all something. This right here is amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. It's fire just for the simple fact that it just shows you right from wrong. It shows you right from wrong. And I feel like it definitely is something that, I don't know, it's real. It speaks real. It definitely speaks real. It's definitely true. And I feel like this definitely applies to this situation. And obviously you see that, again, Karmelo was definitely in the wrong. Like said, there was multiple witnesses. There were plenty of videos, from my understanding from the police report. It was many phones that were taken from the videos that, And let me tell y'all something about this Dominique Alexander's advocate for Karmelo Anthony. They know what they're doing. I'm sure they probably seen the videos. I'm sure they probably seen everything that, went on. And they're obviously got on bail. But at the same time, they know they cooked. That's just being real. And like I said, it screams guilty. Y'all let me know y'all comments, thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to every single one of y'all. Not feeling the best today. I hope y'all couldn't tell. But love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all next one.